Hello there, YouTube. It's Sibbles and Bits back at it again with another Arcanium run. Um, yeah, sorry about last run. At least we learned something, I guess. I'm obviously very salty because I absolutely killed that run. And I always say, right, so long as you're learning something that's better than a win because that helps build your game knowledge, you learn from your mistakes, and it makes you a stronger player. That last death, me just taking Celeste and swapping into dead Tara with 5 health, well, at least I learned, because for whatever reason I thought that corruption damage did 4 damage, but it does 5. I at least learned that, but otherwise, like, besides that horrible, like, elite pairing, that run was pretty much on its way to being won. It, so, if I would have hit the elite pairing and just died, I would have been fine with that. Again, I don't random for the entire purpose of winning every run. And sometimes, especially when you take risky plays like taking a shard boss, even though we calculated and we determined like, oh, okay, like probably 3 of these are going to be pretty bad, and then the elite pairing with the shard boss was exceptionally bad, that's fine. I'm perfectly fine losing there. It's when I screw up that really gets me salted because I don't know, I always feel like I should know better, especially in that case. Anyways, just go ahead and start up a new run. Okay, we got Reanimate Carrion. I feel like this is probably his worst ultimate. I also don't think I've played Carrion on camera either, so that'll be interesting. We can still use this though. It's not too bad. We got Tara again with the aim shot, which is again disgusting damage, and we've got Aurora with Engulf, good AoE. I'm pretty much putting a timer on people. At this point, I'm a little bit concerned because our main defense right now is Carrion. As you can see with this very wimpy little defense bar. We have a very rocky early game because Tara relies on people actually protecting her for her to have a good early game. Otherwise, she can, like I said in the last video, she can face race pretty well, but it's going to be rough. The main thing that I'm feeling pretty good about is that Carrion has a... Can we go to that? Leeching Strike. Deal 4 damage, apply 1 leech forward. Since both of our other heroes are ranged, they can attack into that pretty easily, and it's a decent form of sustain. We're going to want a better card, but I would have been much happier had he had anything except Reanimate. But this is still some very good damage. Unholy Swing is not something to sleep on. I think we're going to want Carrion in middle lane, and they're just going to try and like burst down their lanes as soon as possible. Let's see, our primary damage is going to be green, red technically, well, basically red and green. She's kind of mixed. Red and green damage. There's some purple and yellow in there. Okay. So, I'm not actually feeling good about Anador at all for that purpose. Not sure how I feel about Uzir either, but the thing about Uzir is the average amount of attacks in Uzir is incredibly low. And so I'm feeling very good taking this team with a very poor defensive start to there. And if there's red enemies, then again, we've got Tara with her obsidian arrows that deal green damage. We've got Carrion and his minions, we should be fine there. Scorched Lands, I don't think that we take this team to Scorched Lands. It would be terrible. The only reason why I would want to take this team to Scorched Lands is because you have Dark Effigy there, which is your minions trigger their expire effects when you play them, which is exceptionally good on both Tara and Carrion particularly. I'll get into that later. The only and the shrines would be the reason why I would go there, but usually the shrines is like one of the last reasons. These shrines don't really, well, I mean, we still have red and yellow, so burst damage, shielding for cards. Yeah, I think we go to Uzir. We're probably going to need this money to hit up the inn once or twice. An ability after 10 enemies. Pick an heirloom after 20 tiles. That's pretty good. We might be able to go low and slow here. Then 20 enemies will get us an item. At least that's a guarantee. This is actually very good. I'm very appreciative of this. So I may have mentioned it before, but the concept of low and slow is not avoiding elites, avoiding shard battles, and just racking up resources. Trying to level, maybe take a couple of elites for some free artifacts, help boost a level. I don't feel comfortable taking on most of the shard battles here right now, so we may very well skip our usual shard battle at 9 or 10 threat. What is this? Shock? That's actually quite good for us. We have lots of AoE. I might hit this event. It could be very good. It could also be duplicate a card, which we don't want to do right now. Let's hit this first, just in case. Okay, this is a bit oof. But we should hopefully be fine. We're gonna do this. Yeah, that looks good enough. It's gonna be some suffer. Alright. So, Carrion, I already showed his 2-cost melee 4 damage 1 leech. He has animated carcasses, which is a minion that they look pretty diminutive, especially when you look at, okay, so it's a 2-cost. The immediate thing that you're going to go is you're going to compare it to Ragnarok's Raptorian Swarm, which is a 2/6. So it's the same cost and has 3 less health. That's obviously bad, right? Well, the expire effect is that all animated carcasses in existence pretty much will get +1/+1. So right now it's a 2/3, but after this minion dies, because I'm gonna throw it out here and probably tank for Aurora, then all of my animated carcasses become 3/4, 4/5, etc., etc. And so they eventually get much better than Ragnarok's minions, but slowly. And you might say, well, Ragnarok can promote and just play minions on top of minions, and so he scales very fast. Yes, in HP. But the thing is that on Apex difficulty, keeping your minions alive actually takes some effort and some AI knowledge, knowing that, oh, okay, so if he's going to attack with a 5 shield break here, I can safely put a minion here or a Raptorian spawn, right? Because it has 6 health. I can safely put this here. And it will not kill it. And then the next turn, this is either going to backlash or it is going to burn. So the minion's still there, and now I can plant another minion on top of it. And then you can start getting it rolling. Otherwise, if you're just putting them out willy-nilly, they're usually going to get killed by an ult or something. Unless you somehow in the early game already are popping off. which generally doesn't happen. Obviously, if you have a Reptorian army, that makes it very easy because you can plant a minion, use his ult, and then that minion gets double stacked. It's very strong. Probably, I'd say that Reptorian army is... I would probably put it at one of the top 10 best ults in the game, honestly. It blocks for so much, scales, and interacts with artifacts very well. Anyways, his other card is Unholy Swing. Deal 4 damage in an area, discard a card. Now, consider here that this is a starter card dealing 4 damage in an area. So even if I'm in the corner, this is 1 for 8, which is the same amount of damage that Bjorn's Reckless Blow does. It's more damage than Lazar's Strike, right? Most characters are hitting for 4 for 1 AP, and you're doing it twice, but you discard a card, and so you're thinking, oh, okay, well, that's kind of bad because I can't play all 3 of these. Since his other cards are 2 costs, you're generally speaking going to end up playing one of them and having 1 spare AP anyways. So then you just use Unholy Swing, and the card that you can't play just gets discarded. So he actually has a very good early game kit. My problem with Carrion is that he's got adequate defensive tools. Like, obviously he's doing better defensively than Tara and Aurora because he's able to put these animated carcasses out. His passive that I didn't look at, whenever a minion in his lane is destroyed, he gets 2 health. That includes if you stack a minion on top of a minion and squish and kill it, then still gets the minion scaling. He gets 2 HP. And so he's kind of like Lazar in that sense, where he pretty much just accepts that he's going to take some damage and trade his minions, but he's the only character that has guaranteed scaling in his starting kit. You could argue, okay, well, Scorch, like, I can just keep playing Burns, and that's going to scale infinitely. Eventually, the enemy that you have Burns on is either going to A, die, in which case, how many burns did you put on that, how much of that AP was wasted, or B, they could potentially cleanse themselves. The only way to cleanse a minion is to kill it, and Carrion wants that to happen. Anyways, the fact that we all rolled 3 shock is terrifying. Yeah, we're going to take a lot of damage here. But at least we have AoE. This won't actually kill it, because you're resistant to this shock. Otherwise, if you weren't a yellow enemy, you'd be dead here. That's unfortunate. Anyways. Here comes damage. This is done next turn. Jesus. Okay, this is how I feel. Should have done that the other way. Have to actually kill to get the card. I guess we set you up. Okay. quite unfortunate. Actually, hold up. Let's at least get your ulti out, because it heals you. Then we can get rid of you. Static Burst is good, especially if you can get somebody with a personal cleanse. It's pretty good on Misty, because she has a cleanse in her personal kit. Oh, we have Engulf on you. Okay, I was just about to check, and honestly, I think we just take Serrated Arrow here. This setup, I'm not really willing to take some extra damage. Going to equip that, and despite the fact that it's technically less damage, we're going to get rid of Sniper Shot because that vulnerable is going to add up. Take one more. Excuse me, you're the same fight. Just take care of you. This is actually a pretty rare hand, but it's pretty good for us. This is 15 damage over 3 turns. Of course, he's just going to shield twice, so it doesn't matter. Oh, jeez, and then he's going to get away with that. Your ult anyways. That's embarrassing. Oof, that's actually pretty good. We're going to save this AP. That up on this elusive, which is going to be pretty good. Should die. If it doesn't, then I'm going to be very sad. May not die. Careful. It's dead. It's dead. Shit. Oh, it doesn't count. This is pretty much exactly what we need. Or we could do some janky shit with Vicious Predator. Patient Strike in this squad is incredibly good. These are actually some very good cards. But I think we take an actual retained shield instead of a weak plus might. We don't have any lifesteal to really utilize that. If I could, I would take all 3 of these right now. Honestly, get rid of a fireball. Only to drop your average damage. Actually, you know what? Keep the fireball. Get rid of a scorch. Card pile's good. I think we put it on Tara. Same reason that I was talking about it a while ago. She gets ulti plus, and she's able to have some pretty good power turns. Yeah, those are good. Those are good. I could theoretically just replace Sniper Shot, Obsidian Arrow, Sniper Shot, and this would be a great deck. I think we're actually going to do that. Because now we just deal so much latent damage. Give me a minion, please. Shatterwood is actually very good. Rugged Ice Walker is too. It's so cheap. God. We have the minion reshuffle, so but we have no shields. Ah, jeez, I think we take Rugged Ice Walker. Mossy Earthshaker's pretty damn good. I don't know if we actually utilize One Might. A second Rugged Ice Walker. Oh, man. That's debatable. Honestly debatable. These events. In a random item. I will take that. Shame we don't have one. I would... Poison. That's actually good here. We can gain 200 gold. We're rich? What? Give me this. Oh, Phoenix Acolyte. Sorry, I just hit my mic. Oh my god. I think we take Elder Moon Color here. Wandering Banshee, Phoenix Acolyte are probably the two minions that I'm looking for the most. If I get a blue minion that I don't like, I'll start up-tiering it at an Oracle. Hope for Wandering Banshee. I don't hit that, up-tier into Phoenix Acolyte almost every time. Of course, with this setup, I would actually probably want the zombie that explodes in an AoE when it dies, and then we would head over to Scorched Lands after we feel good. Try and get, I just said it. I know its name. Dark Effigy. If you haven't noticed, I have a real problem with recall. But I think especially here, Elder Mooncaller is just going to solve a lot of problems. And this gets us to Ulti Plus. Do we care? Not really. We'll take it anyways. This is going to allow us to block and mitigate a lot of damage. The only problem is that it means that we're going to scale pretty slowly off of animated carcasses. So we're going to need to hope for a couple of drafts to give us some good stuff here. Now I'm kind of at an impasse. We have no health. unless we take on this elite defense battle, which we got to survive 4 rounds against elite enemies, and you saw what happened with 2 normal enemies. I think that we're a little bit better, but not a lot better. Otherwise, we have to go all the way around here to get to the capital, and I'm not sure that I like that. So I apologize if this is a short video, but I think the long term, this is the right move to go here. And it's a pretty good setup if we live. Thankfully, actually no, we don't like Scarl's Tamers. It's the Sky Callers that are pretty easy. At least Molten Elite Scorpion is just going to try to burn us. That might save 1 turn. Oh no, he's attacking right away, of course he is. Being attacked. Want you to be attacked? We don't want you to ult in an AoE, so we're going to try to face race you. Retain, I don't need to use it. Put a minion out there. We'll technically heal 2 and then take 9, so we're only losing 7 here. Go ahead and do that. I probably could have done explosive, or not explosive, serrated arrow before all that. Shh. This is worth more damage, though, to do. For single target, serrated arrow into obsidian arrow is better. But after this turn now, it's going to be gone, right? So this is only going to gain us an additional 3 damage. Actually, wait, you're also poisoned. Average damage in deck. Could grab 3 toxic arrows next turn. That'd be pretty suffer. I don't think we're really trying to deal damage to you guys, so explosive arrow. Yeah, this is the right move. Debating if I wanted to keep the AP actually. Just use explosive arrow. I'm weak. This is terrible. We're just going to cut our losses there. More burnout there. Here I feel like we animated Carcass Unholy Strike again. Especially because we didn't get what we wanted. Okay. Oh, you're almost dead. Are you kidding me? If I would have actually put that vulnerable out on the right turn, we would have saved 9 health. That's pretty feels bad. But we're alive. Okay, you're burning. I say no. And get shielded. Then ult. We're gonna have minions for quite a while. We're still dying. Shh. Oh. Good boy, Carrion. Should have kept that. Because if he would have died with poison on him, I believe if he's in the same lane, Tara counts that as a kill, and so she would have gained an AP and drew a card for next turn. Ooh. But hey, we've pretty much lived. I should have put out Leeching Strike. I am a fool. I never said I was a wise man. But hey, that's some healing. Okay, actually, here, Rusty Cleaver is very good on Aurora. Unless they fixed it, one lesser known caveat about piercing is if you hover over here, it says that piercing ignores shield. What it actually does is ignores the entire damage reduction formula, meaning that it also pierces resistance. It's pretty good. Don't sleep on this common. Otherwise, Electric Orb is very strong, but not here. We take this. Otherwise, who's emptying their hand? Carrion, technically, he has discard strikes. I keep wanting to call it Discord Strike. That's what it should be called. Has the Discord notification every time that you use it for the sound effect. It'd be so cool. I think it's Rusty Cleaver. Here we go. Now. We're starting to get places. We need defense. We're probably taking Earthen Circle. Because Carrion can retain it, shield everybody for 5. It's very good. This probably is even an upgrade for 8 because, dear God, do we need it. Then we can start maybe weaning off of the whole minion thing that we just spent like 300 gold on. And like start going into an actual run here. We might even be able to look good enough for the shard battle. I still don't think so. Aurora or Tara having access to their own cleanse. Very good, especially because we got a lot of red damage here. This combo is going to be very easy. As I've stated in another video, it's pretty much the only cleanse that you can get outside of green-yellow. But we have lots of green-yellow, so there's actually a lot of cleanse, and we don't have to take this necessarily for that, but it's a block card, right? Poison Vial would allow Carrion to assist Tara, or Tara to get rid of her shitty poison arrows. It could be how we... The problem is that we're in Uzir. And enemies, if we go against the beetle just regens half the DOTs that he takes. And almost everything blocks or cleanses. The poison really isn't good here. I mean, we were going to take Earthen Circle anyways, like I said, but just to sort of like put my thoughts out there, right? Going on Carrion. Carrion, my wayward son. Might even be able to go big deck. And then we just give him a draw. Otherwise, honestly, for right now, let's get rid of... Honestly, get rid of a Leeching Strike. Our cost is too high. Got a camp here. I think we take it. Because we don't know what we're going to uncover here. We know that this is a fight, but we're not really concerned about that. Do we have anything that we want to hit with an Oracle? I would say maybe Elder Mooncaller to turn it into a second Screaming Banshee. But no, we already have good sources of Vulnerable, and Elder Mooncaller is very important to us because he cleanses. Wise? Not really. Turning Regular Ice Walker into a blue minion is potentially worse than having a 6 block. About over in here. Like, not really. We actually like all of our cards that we got, and she's had nothing except for Holy Light, which we definitely won. So, yeah, we don't have any use for this Oracle right now. We're not trapped. Honestly, here, I think we take Protection. I would love to do some shenanigans with Unity. I think Unity's very good. Unity's so good, though. Because what we can do is, the first time Carrion plants a minion, just puts it down in his lane, it's going to give him 2 healing. Not like that's necessarily good. You might as well just have a relic that heals him for 2, but draw Protection just gives everybody a free block card that they don't even have to worry about. It's also yellow, so it'll combo with any combo cards that Aurora ends up getting, which could potentially be Holy Bulwark. Is that what it's called? Holy Crusade? I don't know. The one that gives AoE immune. It combos with her current shield card, which allows her to heal. She may need to use both. My only problem with the card, again, it doesn't retain. If it retained, oh baby, it'd be so good. But we may need it. But we'll likely need it. I think we take this. Going to risk the Luke Cage. No, we should heal. Heal and then take the Luke Cage. Okay, it was fine. While we're here, is there anything that needs upgrading? How do you guys upgrade? Double your stats? That's quite significant, actually. I'm not sure that I'm willing to do that, though. Explosive Arrow upgrade is pretty good. Do you give 2 vulnerable? You do. Ooh. Ooh. That's a lot of damage. That may even be what we use the Oracle for. Oh, and Aurora needs cards, so we're going to grab that, but we're probably going to go this way. 1, 2, 3. Maybe we feel good enough for a Shard boss. I honestly don't think that we will. So, let's go over it again. We're going to potentially upgrade. The other thing to note is that serrated arrows won't help us for the boss at all. It only helps us against like side minions, which is still something that we want to do. One, 2, 3, 10. Upgrade here, upgrade here. We have 2 upgraded serrated arrows. This is an insane amount of damage. Especially when it combined with aim shot. It's technically more damage than if we would have ulti plussed her, but we're starting to get into the realm of like, what if, right? Quick draw would be very good here. That's assuming that we're specifically going for this, because otherwise we could just fight normal battles and we wouldn't have to upgrade at all. This what we have is pretty good. What we got here? Elder Genie would just be a win. It's easy. Sedim Cutthroat is pretty rough because we have to deal more than 10 damage, and currently we don't deal more than 10 damage. So this would be a burn slash, well, he's half resistant to burn, but so this is pretty much a poison face race. He has 200 health. Yeah, I don't think that we can take a shard simply because this guy exists. I also don't think that we have any means to deal with his attacks. He also does damage. At least we wouldn't be able to set off static conduit. So we got that going for us. Oh god. Even the other thing about Sedim the Cutthroat, even if Tara used her aim shot, it deals 50% damage because he has elemental resistance. So then it would still get blocked. Lord. Yeah, okay, we're not going for a shard. And that also reminds me, I did not, because we got it. Oh no, we did. My apologies. Okay, so if we're not going for a shard, we're not going to upgrade those cards. This could potentially be better. Cache. Good item, please. Hey, I'll take some more red damage. You're back. Oh my god. Slayer's Trophy? I think that's insanely good here. Question is who do we put that on? That could literally go on anybody. And the other question is that literally better than Mimico's Phase Shifter, which has no right to be a common? Gives one immune in cycles. With how fast we're expecting to kill fights, Mimico's Phase Shifter is probably significantly better. Can also just be used to block ults. We know we got scorpions here that deal like, 40 plus damage. Oh man. I'm gonna huff a whole bit of hopium here. These Slayer's Trophy is a common. We'll find it again. Pose needs to go on probably Aurora. Actually, maybe it goes on Tara. She doesn't really have any defensive tools right now. At least Aurora has a block at the moment. Card pot. Oh my god, the card piles. Okay. You really want us to burn? Still don't think that we go for a self-burn route. Incinerate, we don't have access to power, but this is literally better than her current burn cards. Do we stack enough burn to actually use this? I don't think we do quite yet. Good stun. I think we can bit incinerate. That was a bit of a... Well, actually, you know what we do? Get rid of a fireball. I think we take another one, honestly. And let's... Not really sure about this event, so let's go ahead and... Actually, no, let's keep the event. Go here. God, this is where all the upgrades are. Maybe we do 2 random upgrades on both. Have a lot of good hits, honestly, with this crew. The one thing that I wouldn't want it to hit is Scorch or the Poison Arrow. I think those are the only 2 things that I wouldn't want it to hit. Okay. Okay, game. Okay, game. Immolation is very good. And go back here. Good for 2 power? No, you do not. You just do like chunky frickin' damage. That's unfortunate. I think we level. Place these scorches with another incinerate and an immolate. Actually, why? Why? Really, why? Immolate is almost better than a fireball. Let's just do that. Really need a fight. Because Aurora, her average AP cost is like through the roof. Another reason why we don't add concussive blow or concussive blast. There's no way we're gonna be able to play that. This. Cari-Tara. That everybody's looking good. That's very good. Okay. I'm starting to feel better about the whole poison route now. Take back what I said about Toxic Arrow. Can we fit this though? It's technically better than an explosive arrow, unless we need to deal damage now. Wait on that. Wait for a better poison card. Could be here? Ooh. Ooh. Void Touch is literally better than his Leeching Strike. Pact of Flesh has Retain on it. Skull Totem is, well, as it says on the tin, right? This is rough. I think what we do is we take Pact of Flesh. It's also range, so for whatever reason, had to do something like that. Otherwise, this 6 damage versus 1 leech, it's not worth it to me, at least. Skull Totem would be better if we already had this. Oh my god. Guillotine? Heartseeker Arrow? Inside you are 2 Taras. 1 green, 1 red. Maybe I get rid of Explosive Arrow for that? AoE is very good though, especially if we ever get out of here. Get crit on her though. Heartseeker Arrow is definitely our pick because that's triple damage. Okay. Nearing the end of the video, let's just make sure that we level up and give it to Aurora. Might just call it a day. Oof, there's a chest though. We take that. Tamari Tenders, Mender's fine.
Shakir Hunter is like the only scary enemy here, especially as common. Though it is threat 2, so they're a little bit more spicy. It's what I'm feeling. I almost forgot that she had the Rusty Cleaver. Bit of health. Vulnerable. That. Really wish I had a light card right now. Oh, you know what? I don't think I equipped him with the leech either. currently don't have a source of critical besides Kara's Shatterwood Arrow, which crits whenever you hit somebody with poison. So it's really only like 3 health per fight, maybe 6. Bounty Hunter's Satchel will allow us to actually get like wombo combos much easier. Glorious Breastplate, I don't think anybody really empties their hand besides, again, like Carrion sometimes. Wish that I could utilize this. Maybe we do take the healing though. We know we want crit on Tara, and right now she's the one who's doesn't have a source of healing. Anyways, that was about an hour, so I think we're gonna cut it right there. So down in the comments, feel free to leave an analysis on what you think of the team, how well you think that we're doing right now. Do you think that we're capable of winning the run? And if you don't want to play in those sort of like gambly shenanigans, go ahead and leave any feedback, any questions, comments, concerns, any misplay alerts. Sure to leave that down there. I take a look at all of them, and I appreciate them very much. Until next time, you guys have yourself a good one.